What's going on, guys? It's Natural Junior Bodybuilder Nick Wright, and we're here in the basement showing you how to get your squat on. Squatting seems to be the most simple exercise, right? You bring your butt down and then you stand back up and it builds your legs. But a lot of people do it incorrectly. Just like the deadlift, squatting is actually much more intricate than most people think when it comes to the little details that count. Now, I have humongous legs. I have large quads. They're a genetic strong point of mine, and I've worked them hard over the years. Squatting has always been the staple of my leg workout, so I want to bring you guys through it and show exactly what you might be doing wrong or what you could do to improve. So with any given exercise, whether it's for back or legs, my rule of thumb with posture is always have your feet planted on the ground with all the weight on your heels. Easy enough. And then get your butt out and your chest out. Keep your head up. Simple as that. Like a girl breaking it down at the club or something. Butt out, chest out, and then keep your head up all the time. All the weight is always on your heels. Once you have that down, you have your posture down. And then you can begin to squat, keeping it all on your legs, not hurting your spinal cord, not turning it into a deadlift. This keeps your upper body completely straight, keeping the bar as much into the center of gravity of your body as possible, which is going to put all the weight and tension onto your quads. If the weight is not on your heels, you're going to end up standing on your tippy toes a little bit. You're going to end up leaning forward. It's going to turn into a deadlift. All of a sudden, the weight shifts onto my back. Now my back's taking all the weight and it's turning almost into a deadlift. And instead of my quads taking the brunt of the tension, I'm flexing my calves just to try to stay upright right now. And that's not right at all. So butt out, chest out, head up, all the weight sitting back on your heels. Now as far as your stance goes, your feet should be out just around shoulder width. You don't need them any wider than that. You don't really need them any more narrow than that. Just outside your shoulder width if you're just beginning. The wider you go, the more it incorporates your hamstrings and your glutes, and it's going to be more of a power strength exercise. The closer you go and the more you point your toes inward, the more it's actually going to isolate the outer sweep of your quad, which is good for bodybuilding. So wide stance is powerlifting because it's incorporating all the muscles, especially the hams and glutes. Closer stance is bodybuilding because it's going to really build that outer sweep of the quad, make the weight feel a little bit more heavy and a little bit harder to lift because you're taking the supporting muscles out of the picture a little bit more and focusing just on the quad alone. So if you're beginning, I say just outside of your shoulder width, toes pointed outward, nothing too exaggerated, nothing too extreme. Now I don't have a squat rack here, but normally you have your bar set up in front of you. You want to get your grip situated while the bar is racked. Let's make believe this bar is racked right now. I'm not holding it. You want to place your grip where you know it's going to be once you begin squatting. Get your grip ready, and then once you go underneath it, I see a lot of people try to get underneath the bar while it's racked, deadlift it up, almost good morning it up, then step back with it and get themselves all situated. You want to get situated underneath it and almost get into squat ready position while it's racked. So let yourself get under it. Bring your feet forward once you're underneath it, then drive your body up. And that's how you're gonna lift it off the racks. Safest way to do it. Where to place it on your back. Everyone complains that it hurts their neck, and most people think they're supposed to balance it on that bone of their neck. You're not supposed to have it on your neck at all, actually. That creates a lot of pressure on your neck, and it risks fracturing it. It puts a lot of risks of injury on your spinal cord in general. Bring it down lower on top of your traps. Your trapezius muscles are gonna cushion the bar and allow it to sit right in the center of your body. Now some people like Wayne Norton prefer to actually have the bar really low. He has it like this on his back. This is going to let him lean forward a little bit more but keep the center of gravity very even in his body. I personally don't have the flexibility to do that. Squats can vary tremendously from person to person and become almost the most individualistic type of exercise when it comes to specific technique. Okay, so I don't have a squat rack down here. You're going to have to bear with me. Legs is usually something I do in the gym. I can do everything else down here. But basic squat, we have our grip just outside of our shoulder width, whatever's comfortable for you. I actually prefer wrapping my arms around the bar and gripping the front of the weights. And this actually helps kind of bring your arms forward a little bit more, sink the bar into the center of gravity a little bit better, and I feel it more on my quads. That's just me though. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. I have longer arms for my body, so that might be why. Somebody who has shorter arms, this grip will work just fine for them. Anyway, the basics. Feet planted, all the weight's on my heels. It's not on my toes at all. My head is up, my butt is out, my chest is out. This is where the butt out really comes into play. I'm squatting down, I'm not leaning forward. I go to parallel, head still up. I start standing back up. My chest is popping out, my butt's popping out. I'm not letting myself bend forward at all. I'm squatting up, and at the top, I don't just crane my back up. I drive my hips forward and lock out. That's gonna be all on my legs. And that's the squat. Okay, one more little trick I wanted to show you guys is my method of grip. Now again, some people with much shorter arms are going to be just fine with this grip, but I have long arms in proportion to my body. And some of you long arm folk may be absolutely fine with this original grip stance for the squat. But what I actually find for me personally, because I don't have the flexibility to do a lower back squat like Layne Norton does, it doesn't work for me at all. I find that this grip forces my elbows and my shoulders to come so far back. Meanwhile, it's making my entire head have to lean forward at the same time, that it ends up making it more awkward, and I end up leaning forward a little bit more or becoming more prone to lean forward with it, and I don't like it. It's not allowing me to sit back with it as much. As soon as I do start sitting back, it almost rolls right off my back, and all of a sudden it's all onto my arms right now. It's like a shoulder press. So what I instead do is, almost like the farm girls used to carry those big things of milk, reach my arms over the bar like this, grab the front / top of the weights. And for me, this is extremely comfortable. What it does, it allows my arms to be brought forward to a more natural position, so my shoulders don't feel like they're being stretched out of their socket backwards. And it allows the bar to come up on top of my traps more instead of sliding off the back of my back. So it brings the bar into the center of gravity. Now all the weight's directed right down the middle onto my quads, and my arms feel nice. I feel more comfortable in this position. I don't feel so stressed. And I can actually sit back into it more instead of having to lean forward. And by sitting back, I'm going to be squatting more, getting more of my legs into it. See how my chest is still nice and upright? I can get even deeper into the squat and come right up. Epic form. It's perfect. It's hitting my quads completely, keeping my back nice and straight. Again, that's just me because I have long arms. Holding it like this pushes me forward and makes it feel like the weight's trying to slide off my back more. So, my little tip of the day, try it, see if it works for you.